Tonight, questions remain about passenger rail service in the port city. Amtrak told us earlier this week it intends to restore daily routes to New Orleans as early as possible next year. But
we have learned it's not a done deal. Amtrak has not reached an agreement with CSX, the freight carrier that owns the tracks. NBC 15's Andrea Ramey joins us now live.
Yeah, Andrea, the two sides appear to be at an impasse tonight.
Yeah, Greg and Kim, Amtrak says there's the potential that passengers could start catching the train here at the Legacy platform on Water Street starting as early as January next year. But Amtrak also says it was bogged down by these never-ending studies from the freight carriers CSX, and so it's really unknown when service will be restored.
Enthusiastic crowds greeted Amtrak back in 2016. On its exploratory trip across the Gulf Coast. Since then, the Southern Rail Commission has secured multiple federal grants, including $66 million to pay for infrastructure upgrades along the route. Last year, Mobile City leaders requested a study be done to fully understand the impact of passenger rail on existing freight traffic at the port.
The RTC model was to be conducted by bringing the freight rails and Amtrak together.
But Amtrak says after a year of discussions, quote, there was no sign of any conclusion in sight. We have notified the freight railroads of our intention to begin service next year. We have again asked the freight railroads where they believe there are more issues. At Tuesday's Mobile City Council meeting, Southern Rail Commissioner Wiley Blankenship informed city leaders the two sides were deadlocked.
I'm hesitant to give you a timeline about when the passenger rail and the freight rails would come to a conclusion, because right now they're not talking.
And I'm kind of disappointed that the two won't talk anymore.
Council leaders expressed disappointment and held off on paying for a study that would look at building a train station at Brookley. Councilman Fred Richardson says a Facebook poll he conducted confirmed what the crowds back in 2016 showed. People want passenger rail.
The citizens in the city of Mobile want Amtrak. Whether we get it or not, they want Amtrak.
Well, CSX told me an hour ago that it strongly disagrees with how Amtrak has characterized what happened and says that they were actually very, quote, close to the finish line in finishing the modeling study and that a shorter engineering study would have followed. CSX says it invites Amtrak back to the table to complete these very necessary studies. Reporting live in downtown Mobile, Andrea Ramey, NBC 15 News.